You slowly open your tiny eyes beneath your mother's enormous woolly body while icy winds roar across the endless Ice Age tundra, but inside her thick fur you feel warmer than anywhere else in the world. And for now, your daily routine is wonderfully simple. Drink warm milk, sleep for hours, wave your tiny trunk at absolutely everything, and proudly believe you are already the strongest mammoth alive, even though you are barely taller than your mother's leg. A few weeks later, your mother finally introduces you to the endless frozen tundra, where white snow stretches farther than your tiny eyes can see, and every member of the herd looks like a walking mountain, so you confidently take your first steps before immediately falling face first into deep snow, proving that becoming a legendary mammoth apparently starts with losing your very first battle against the ground. Every day you grow stronger and spend hours chasing snowflakes, accidentally scaring birds that are probably more confused than frightened, while your mother patiently watches from nearby as if she already knows that every future giant begins life by running in random circles for absolutely no reason before suddenly forgetting what they were trying to do in the first place. One afternoon, several hungry Ice Age wolves quietly appear on a nearby hill, carefully watching the youngest mammoths, and your tiny heart starts beating faster than ever before. But before they can take another step, every adult mammoth instantly forms a massive protective circle around the calves, making the wolves suddenly remember they have extremely important business somewhere very, very far away. As spring slowly arrives, your mother teaches you how to sweep snow away with your trunk to uncover fresh grass hidden beneath the frozen ground. And although you imagine mammoth life would be non-stop adventures, you quickly discover that becoming a 6-ton giant mostly involves eating almost every hour, because muscles, thick fur, and enormous tusks definitely are not built on fresh air alone. As the seasons pass, your fluffy coat grows thicker, your legs become stronger, and you finally manage to keep up with the herd during their long journeys across the frozen plains. Although every now and then you still get distracted by strange looking rocks that somehow turn out to be sleeping musk oxen, earning yourself another disappointed look from your mother that clearly says, "Please try thinking before charging at random things." One freezing morning, your mother suddenly stops and raises her trunk into the air, and within seconds, every mammoth around you becomes completely silent because the smell of danger has arrived before the danger itself, and from behind a distant hill, a massive cave lion slowly appears, staring directly at the youngest members of the herd, as if today's menu has finally walked to him. Instead of running away, the adults charge forward together with earth-shaking footsteps, swinging their enormous tusks while trumpeting so loudly that the frozen valley echoes for miles. And the cave lion quickly realizes that hunting one baby mammoth is definitely not worth arguing with several angry mountains covered in fur, so he quietly turns around and disappears into the snow. Months later, your tiny tusks finally begin pushing through your gums, making everything feel uncomfortable, so you start rubbing them against rocks, trees, and occasionally even another mammoth, who immediately reminds you that using your friend's leg as a scratching post is not considered good manners anywhere on the Ice Age tundra. Now that you are older, your mother allows you to search for food on your own, and after proudly digging through frozen snow for several minutes, you discover absolutely nothing, while an experienced mammoth calmly walks beside you, pushes the snow away with one effortless movement, and uncovers an entire field of grass, proving that experience is sometimes much more valuable than strength. Years pass, and you are no longer the smallest member of the herd. Your tusks curve farther with every season, your massive body easily pushes through deep snow, and younger calves begin following you just as you once followed your mother. It feels strange, because not long ago, you were the one tripping over your own feet, and now someone else is copying your every move, including your occasional completely unnecessary dramatic trunk poses. Winter returns with brutal snowstorms that hide the horizon for days, but your herd never stops moving because standing still means starving. Together you clear thick snow with your tusks and trunks until frozen grass finally appears. And after hours of hard work, everyone celebrates the discovery as if someone had just invented the world's first all-you-can-eat buffet in the middle of the Ice Age. One afternoon, you notice strange footprints that belong to no animal you have ever seen. Curious, you quietly follow them until several humans appear carrying long wooden spears. They are much smaller than you, but the calm confidence in their movements tells you something important. Size is not always the most dangerous weapon, and your instincts immediately tell you this is the perfect moment to leave without asking any questions. The herd quickly changes direction, choosing safety over curiosity, while the humans carefully watch from a distance. Nobody attacks because both sides understand that a fight could end badly for everyone. As you slowly walk away, you cannot help wondering why such tiny creatures carry themselves like they own the frozen world, and somehow that thought bothers you more than the spears. Many winters pass, and your once dark coat is now covered with patches of gray, while your enormous tusks have grown so long that even younger mammoths step aside when you walk. You have crossed frozen rivers, survived blizzards, escaped hungry predators, and learned that the greatest strength is not being the biggest in the herd, but knowing exactly when to fight, when to leave, and when to protect those walking beside you. One freezing evening, the herd discovers a wide valley filled with fresh grass hidden beneath thin snow, and everyone rushes forward, but the ground suddenly cracks beneath one of the younger mammoths. Without thinking, you charge toward him, pulling him back with your trunk before the frozen ice collapses completely, proving that true leaders are remembered not for their size, but for the lives they save. Years continue to pass, but something around you slowly begins to change. Winters become shorter, snow arrives later, and the frozen plains that once stretched forever are slowly replaced by muddy ground, bushes, and forests. Even the oldest mammoths in the herd have never seen anything like it, and for the first time in your life, the Ice Age itself feels like it is quietly saying goodbye. Food becomes harder to find, your herd travels farther every season, and humans appear more often than before, carrying better weapons and working together with surprising patience. You avoid every dangerous path you can, because after surviving wolves, cave lions, freezing storms, and endless winters, it would be a shame if your greatest enemy turned out to be a creature smaller than one of your own legs. One quiet morning, you stand alone on a snowy hill, watching the younger mammoths continue their journey across the endless horizon while the cold wind moves gently through your thick fur. Whether your story ends today or many seasons from now no longer matters, because the frozen world will always remember the footsteps you left behind, and somewhere ahead another tiny mammoth is opening its eyes, ready to begin the same incredible adventure all over again.